Hello, guys. My name is Edwin Gonzalez, and today I will be presenting my analysis on the character from the Croods film. General introduction of the Croods. The Croods is set in a fictional prehistoric era named the Cretaceous, which is a fictional era due to the film. The caveman family is composed of 6 members at the beginning, which are Grug, Uga, Gran, Eep, Thunk, and Sandy. The other characters that also form part of the family at the end are Guy and Belt. A caveman family is a prehistoric man who lived in caves with an uncivilized or violent behavior, which is a definition of a caveman in the internet. Grug was the perfect image of what a caveman is. He was an overprotective father who always followed the caveman ways. So when you want to think of an example of a perfect or almost exactly like caveman, it would be Grug in the film. He's just like the perfect image of a caveman. Guy's character introduction. Guy is first presented to the audience when Eep disobeys her father at night and goes out of the cave, which she wasn't allowed to due to the caveman rules they had. So, in the story or the film, the family wasn't allowed to leave at night. And Eep was a girl that just had too much curiosity, which was something that the cavemen hated. Due to that curiosity, she went out at night, and that caused her to meet Guy, which at the end turned out to be a positive outcome. After Eep met Guy, she found out that Guy had discovered fire, which was the first of many inventions he found. Guy introduces the audience with nature's destructive face when he tells Eep the world is ending. Guy was a more modern human compared to the caveman family. He was just more typically advanced in every way, and due to his inventions and his survival skills, that made him a better leader, and the caveman family just followed Guy and was guided by him because of that. Guy's characteristics. Guy had long brown hair, brown eyes, and was 19 years old. The trait that would best describe him is his intelligence. He demonstrates it throughout the whole film, and he just proves it with his discoveries and his perfect survival skills. And the caveman family would just follow Guy because of that. Grug, on the other hand, was just not as intelligent as him, and his best trait, I think it would be just his strong like person and just his strength. The character had a large scale imagination, and you can see that by the inventions he creates. The young man had a helpful spirit, which he did by just helping out the family, the caveman family, which he brought with him to the mountain so they could survive the destruction. Guy had excellent surviving skills, and he was just a prehistoric inventor, which was not seen commonly in the prehistoric era. The Croods' influence. Guy made a positive impact on the Croods. The young man showed the Croods his discoveries, which at first, the first discovery they would see or did see in the film was fire, and that was just like a necessary element they used throughout the film, and that even helped Grug survive at the end when he had no other option, and the caveman just knew how to use it. The Croods learned new necessary survival skills because of Guy. They learned a lot of things because of Guy, how to survive with other animals and just how to survive on their own. Guy showed the family how to use fire, which is seen by the example of Grug that he uses at the end. He also gave the family caveman shoes, and that helped them pass through places where they couldn't pass normally, if you know what I mean. And the biggest influential act Guy actually taught the family was how to survive out of the cave, because they were so used to that cave and they wouldn't just let it go. The Every family member was just used to being every day in that cave, and they didn't know what was the world out of that cave. They just went out to eat or hunt, and that was basically it, because at night they would go back to the cave. Guy and nature. Well, at first, Guy challenges nature's destructive force. Actually, he does challenge it throughout the whole film. You could see that when he just evades dangerous animals, he survives risky things where he could just die in real life, and that also the cavemen, which he taught them to survive. He uses nature and its animals to his advantage, as he did with Belt, which was the one that carried his pants throughout the whole film. And he knows how nature works, and nature has an advantage and a disadvantage. It just depends on how you use it. Guy uses nature's elements to keep himself and the caveman family alive. Another example of that would be fire, when he just finds out fire, and Eep knows that he just found it out. He uses fire, which is one of the discoveries and elements that provide for them, such as food, which they use to cook the bird that they kill. Nature's value is seen when the destruction takes over. Nature's plot and Guy claiming leadership. The plot of the film is the world falling apart due to nature's destruction, which in other words, Guy and Belt call the end. Guy takes leadership over Grug because of his survival skills. As I said earlier, Grug isn't that much of an intelligent dude. He's like a person who believes more in using strength and being more violent instead of using the brain. And Guy just did that. Guy used his intelligence in his favor. Guy is a wise decision maker, which helps overcome nature's plot. A wise decision you might see as an example is the way he just decided to go to the mountain. That was wise of him, and at the end, it just helps them survive the destruction, him and the caveman family. The caveman family would have died without Guy. And I'm actually sure about this because they didn't know what to do out of the cave, and Guy was their only lead, and he was basically the guide. I think he was the solution for their survival. Guy's solution helped them survive destruction. His solution actually did, because he warned them actually that the world was ending, and that caused them to go out of the cave and follow him. If it wasn't for him, it would have just been destruction their way. And he just proved to be this leader character. He proved his leadership throughout the whole film, and basically that's what puts him over Grug. Nature's perfect match. Guy was nature's perfect match, and there's not a doubt about that. The young man knew how to handle both positive and negative sides of nature. The boy conquers nature's destructive phase at the end. The Croods survived the destruction because of his control over nature. And ultimately, Guy is seen as the most important character in the film. And I would say he's the most important character in the film because he's the solution to the caveman family's problem. They survived because of him. They learned a lot because of him. And they just discovered many new things and inventions that he basically created in the film, which everybody knows that it's fiction, but he did create those things and they learned a lot from him. And that was all for today. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you enjoyed it. And this is the works cited.